Play with the great horned owl.
Guys out, he's saying supper. They look like
and they picked her up and they took her home. And they might have been trying to help, you know, maybe she's down on the ground and they thought she was abandoned and alone. But they took her home, and unfortunately, for one thing, she needed to be around her parents to learn some things, like to learn where to find food, for example. But also, they do something called imprinting, which is whatever they're taking, that's taking care of them when they're little, when their eyesight's developing, that's what they think they should be around her. That's what's begging for food, and she should never do that to a person. She should never beg for food. And so if we put her in the wild, the odds are she would starve.
Right.
She wouldn't know where to look for food. And the likelihood she'd land in somebody's yard and she'd start begging for something.
I think people should be. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
Oh, want him to who?
Dive in, mark, height, breathe. There's no entry.
I'm right behind the guy with the hand.
That's what the carpenters wanted to set up. A nice place where everybody likes to be in the country. We have 425 acres right here, and 300 more acres across the river up across from Afton in Wisconsin. We are an interstate nature center.
Release the bird. So, and everybody, I'll just give you if you've got cameras, you want to focus right about where my hand is. Okay? All right. Are you ready to go, Rick? There we go. Everybody help me out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, Rick. He's still flying. How did that feel? Really cool. Even though, sure, a very, very nasty fracture. The Raptor Center actually developed the techniques used for fixing avian or bird fractures that are used around the world. I have the opportunity to teach around the world orthopedics. If you want to be the best in the world at something, pick something nobody else does, bird bones. But anyway, the techniques were developed there. We have an incredible success rate with it, and this bird is one that benefited from the work we've done over the past 20 years. So, tell us about red-tailed hawks. Oh, I'm going to tell you about red-tailed hawks, but first, I'll tell you about red-tailed hawks. Red-tailed hawks are one of my favorite raptors. I'm not supposed to have favorites, but I do, and red-tailed hawks are one of my favorites. And red-tailed hawks have a lot of misconceptions about them. A lot of people used to call them chicken hawks. Anybody heard that before? Yeah? Red-tailed hawks rarely, if ever, eat chickens. Their normal diet is dogs, cats, and kids.
All right.
Do you believe me? Go like this. The hood off of the red-tailed hawk, I want to give you one little factoid about raptors. I think Laura mentioned it earlier, is that in the raptor world, the girls are bigger than the boys. Like a yay! I'm pretty happy about that too. We are going to do the same thing that we did with the broad-winged hawk. You guys are already trained, and he is ready to go. So everybody, let's count. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. And now you wanted to know why I wanted you to sit down. Now you know. How about you? What about this moment for you?
I'm not speechless very often. That was just exhilarating, and I have a lump in my throat. It was awesome.
I think most of us do too. Thank you, Robin. The next release, you already were introduced to Mrs. Karen Kaler, the wife of the new president of the University of Minnesota. She is going to release a bald eagle. Now I have to tell you, very cool. Everyone, 1, 2, 3. It's going to the visitor center. Head over to the visitor center.
We still do get some birds coming in that have been shot, sometimes for sport, sometimes people still see them as threats. But that shot injured her wing. She has what we call partial flight ability, so she can fly a little bit, but not well enough to do those dives that she would need to hunt.
The ones that I've seen are
Smaller. Well, you may have seen some different birds. We do have other bird-eating raptors. We have Cooper's hawks and shark-shaped hawks, and they also do very fast dives. They live in a different habitat, in the more woody areas, but they can often be mistaken for peregrines. We also have red tails. We got one, that little puffball right over there.
Yeah, I've seen. When I was working downtown, I think they were white. Does that sound right?
Those are everywhere.
Well, there's certainly a lot of them. I wouldn't say everywhere, but I wish there were.
She's a looker.
Yeah, just checking everything out. It's important for these birds to be aware of everything in their environment.
But you know who does? That owl. She loves skunks, and you know why? She can't smell them.
So they're not really.
This is a red-tailed hawk.
Do great
Yep. This is actually a really big girl. Her name is Alula.
They don't like being touched. What's your name?
Her name is Alula. Alula.
If you go over that pound,
she weighs 4 pounds.
4 pounds?
4 pounds.
They're like taxidermy. So if you ask, they can take those out and you can touch them.
What kind of stuff do great ones have?
Everything. They love the skull, they love the brains, the heart, the ribs, the meat, everything.
The spray?
The spray, delicious.
Gross. I was reading a Curious George Goes Camping and he called out a skunk.
Oh, really? Does anyone else have any questions?
But not many people see these birds. We did not release a harrier this morning. We released a broad-wing hawk, a red-tail hawk, and an eagle. Yep, that is our red-tail hawk. That's our education red-tail hawk. Where's the release? This is a turkey vulture.
Where's the release? Down there?
So yeah, you see where the stage is? Right down there. Okay. Yep.
So is that where the reptile
Yep, not while I'm holding the harrier though.
is that where the reptile amphibian show is?
Yes, 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 yes. And that's from the naturalist here at Carpenter. Not for you. Yeah, I've got rat. Well, I offered it to her a couple times and she said, yeah, not so much. Oh, now she's going to eat it. Look at that. There you go. Who's accounting, you know? I mean, if I say, yeah, she won't eat it, then she eats it. Day-old chick. For a bird like this that eats a lot more birds than it does mice, that kind of thing, so if it doesn't eat fish, we'll give her a more bird-based diet. We'll mix some rat and mouse there for variety and also for nutritional balance.
You can go like that. You can only go like this.
Look at that.
Has a broken
He's going to help me here. We're going to count to 3. She's going to let him go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Look at that bird go. At the Raptor Center, we make sure these birds are 100%. Look at that bird.
Nice of him to make a little loop there to let y'all see
Yeah,
his
it was a
flight
little
skills.
show there. Julie, I have to ask, how was that?
Freeing. I let something free again.
Ah, excellent. And it
Adult bird. Unlike the last one that was a hatchier, this one's an adult. We have no idea how old. Could be 5 years, could be 10 years, could be 15 years. It came in April from Delano, and it had what is technically called a projectile injury. You know what that means? It was shot.
It looks like we're ready to go. We're going to do the same thing we did before, so you're going to help me count, and we'll do it on 3. So, 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. Another beautiful flight. Sit in the tree for a little while. This guy looks like he's on his way.
What an amazing. We do have the opportunity to release a bald eagle today. So, it is going to happen from up on top of the hill over there. So if everybody could sit down, because we never know where a bald eagle's going to go. And what I can tell you about the releaser is it's a very special releaser for many of us. Gail mentioned we work with over 300 volunteers that make our program possible. And this past year we lost a very, very dear friend. Our longtime volunteer coordinator, Vivian Niger, passed away from cancer. And in her memory, her daughter is releasing the eagle.
So we will do the same thing we did before. We will count to 3, and on 3, Sunny will release the bird. You guys see up there? I think they're ready. Okay, here we go, everyone. 1, 2, 3. There you go. How beautiful is that?
Amazing.
Just all like within like because they were just riding this birds right before it wasn't. It was so cool. It was so cool. I just sat there like a log.
Like where that one's a turkey one.
It's all wet. They look so good, right?
Dad. Oh.